Hi, this is thoughts straight from my inner child about things I didn't like. I really didn't like it when I chose to lie about how many sexual encounters I had just to fit in because that type of stuff was happening around me a lot. I didn't like that, but I didn't want to be rejected. I also didn't like how I felt when I heard those two really loud gunshots go off. I couldn't go to sleep. I was awake and I was trembling with fear. I didn't know it was guns, shotgun. I thought it was a bomb. I've been severely anxious at bedtime ever since. I also don't really like that people that I trusted had to watch me be so lost all this time because I didn't know I was coached. So my behavior made no sense most of the time. And it made my family concerned about me in ways that I was confused by because I was lost. And I didn't understand what I was doing. I was trying to adjust to a lot of hypersexual behavior that was happening around me sometimes. And also a lot of inappropriate adult men that would touch me. And I didn't know if it was bad or good because sometimes they do it around my trusted adult. I don't think they seen it though. Also, I didn't like it when I was bullied and I didn't never hit back because I was always scared to get in trouble because of the type of trouble I would get. It's not fun to get punched in the mouth. I also didn't like it when people judged me before they got to know me. It caused me to go inward and stop going outward. And I stopped caring about what people thought. And what I didn't realize is I also stopped caring about what I thought. And I stopped thinking altogether. It made it easier to live on survival mode. And I also didn't like that sometimes you would steal my things and you were my trusted adult and I'll have to re-steal them back. I didn't like that. And I also didn't like how proud you were and how wonderful you spoke about having daughters and a family. But when the door would shut, you didn't show that most of the time. Sometimes you did. Most of the time, my experience of you, I've always been scared. Always. And if anyone tells you anything different, they're lying to you. I also didn't like that I was the black sheep in the family. I didn't know that this person set me up for that. My inner child has a lot to say about it. She didn't like it. I didn't want to be the black sheep. I also didn't know that you used me as a scapegoat to get away with things and to connect with her. You used me, and that wasn't right. I didn't like that very much. I also didn't like that time you gave us three a spanking. It was very weird, and I didn't like what I had to do to get that spanking. It felt cringe. And the other two relatives agree it was cringe and weird. Also, my inner child that pops up a whole lot in my adult life. I'm just using this filter to give it a face. Yeah. I'm very honest. And I didn't know that was looked down upon. And I learned the hard way that being honest is looked down upon when you have a lot of people in your circle that are I guess you can say, masculine feminists. And sometimes women that are more masculine, in my experience, have peer pressured me in a lot of ways that I didn't understand. But because I had such high energy and I wanted to play all the time, and I was into boys, probably around 14, I started noticing boys, and it was weird because I didn't have confidence. I really didn't. I just liked to dress up and look pretty, but that was pretty much it. You see, I lost my virginity much later than everyone else outside of my brother. So I was behind. I just pretended to be ahead, and then I learned later I wasn't fooling anyone. It's amazing, isn't it? What we do as kids. We drag that to our adult life, and we don't even realize it, most of us. Especially if you have cognitive injury. It's really sad. But another thing I didn't like is I didn't like having to find our kitchen spatula on the heat vent in the basement because it was used for crack smoking. I didn't like that. We used that to flip pancakes. I also didn't like trying to get close to you so much just to be rejected. And then I didn't also like learning that my therapist told me that you set me up for the approval trap in men. That was very depressing. I had no clue how much stress I was providing my husband. I didn't know that my inner child that we're looking at right now will pop up in my relationship, trying to get validated because of the childhood wound I have. I had no clue that I was acting like an adult brat. That's funny to me now. I can laugh about a lot of this now. Yeah, I'm very accountable. I make a lot of people uncomfortable as well, and I didn't know that because of me being so honest. And a lot of people I had learned the hard way. They don't practice honesty. They live dishonest lifestyles, lacking lots of morals and boundaries. And I didn't know what those things was either. I'm being completely honest. I cannot make this up. I was pretty ignorant. It's pretty severe. So I had no clue most of the time. I would pretend that I knew things to fit in, even though I really didn't fit in and I really didn't know. So I just created a big problem for myself. And I had challenges with that mindset while raising my children, which is why I decided to do it with the influence of therapy, a lot of my elders, even though I was stubborn. I didn't want to listen a lot of the times. I was, I guess you can say, lazy to being responsible, but I was energized to being entertained, having fun, typical ADHD or really anybody that's immature. So I had some of the greatest teachers. My Aunt Renee, my mother taught me a lot. I learned so much from different family members of mine. And some I have great respect for, and others that I just worry about. I love my family. But I just have a lot of things that happened around me as a child that I just did not like and I did not understand. And I felt like I had no one to talk to. Because like I said, I was bullied out of talking to my mom about certain things, or I would get beat up. And I thought that was okay at the time, believe it or not. So this is directly from my inner child. Just wanted to give y'all something real. Minus this filter. I'll be back with more inner child rant. Yeah, I guess I can call it that. Make sure you don't do certain things around your kids that you're going to regret later. Because a lot of the times, kids will bring it up. And if you are immature as an adult, it's going to be hard to work through those challenges. You might lose your family. And who wants that? So take care, and I'll be back.